It has been quite a morning on the AM edition. Ooh, usual suspects, Rick Ross and Nas. It's 9:36 and it is Monday, so since it is Monday, we often have our feature which is called The Plug. If you are a startup, and hopefully your startup doesn't go with the lines that Emma uses, that if you're a startup then you can make mistakes, take people's money, and it's okay because you're only 1 year or 2 years old. No. So if you are serious about your business, be it 1 year, 2 year, 3 years, we want you on the show. We want to plug you and give you the chance to put yourself out there. So today, we have got our guest on the show.
It's exactly 23 away from 10. Listen, man, you want to introduce yourself. You know, I'd really rather you introduce yourself as opposed to us talking about you. We know that you represent a brand called Luxurious Rap. And rapping, we're talking about cars. We're not talking about rhyming. Now, put your headphones on and let's get to business. It is The Plug. Plug yourself. Who are you? What is Luxurious Rap? Where did it start? What was the idea behind it? All of the stuff.
Good morning. My name is Paul Maleke. My name is Paul Maleke, and I'm from a company called Luxurious Rap. It all started in 2013 when I left my job and tried this new bug that hit me, the entrepreneurial bug. And started firstly with rap. We did basically branding and all that, and we realized some of our clients, like, they started branding their old X5 and Mercedes-Benz. And then they will still have issues with the branding, you know. So what we've done is, like, we went on and kind of matched the colors, you know, saying your corporate identity, you can still use it as a base color. And then that's how it all started. And I met a friend who later introduced me to basically everything around rapping, and yeah, that all started.
So you guys started customizing the branding.
Exactly.
Raps.
Exactly.
Right. Okay.
We started customizing branding raps. Like, I think one of my clients actually from the bar, we branded his car. It was like an X5. So we put all the construction branding and all that, and apparently the madam was not happy at home.
Wow.
Because it was too much, like, on an X5. So I'm not going to be able to drive this. But his base color was blue. So he said, listen, let's just change the color to a blue. You know? So, and that's what we did.
So that's how it actually began, you know, the idea of blending without being so...
Too much.
Okay, all right, that's great. So, and you guys have been, you said you started when? What year was this?
We started 2013 with a company called Peer Media Science, where we basically did the branding and marketing. We're still doing that, still going on. So we formulated a second company that strictly focuses on vehicle wrapping and customization of cars, the outlook.
So I know customization is mostly a male-dominated type of thing. You know, you find a lot. I'm sure that you get a few ladies that come in and say, listen, I want my car wrapped in pink. Or whatever the case is. But it almost started at the right time, considering that rapping just, you know, recently now became very popular. I mean, at first it was matte black, and now it has become all sorts of things. And so I want to know, did you consciously quit your job to get into this business, or did you find yourself jobless and then got into the business?
Actually, 2012, I knew that I was actually done with the work, but I was still convincing myself. I was an information analyst. I worked for universities for 7 years as an information analyst in planning. So what we'll do in planning is, like, you extract data and you use that for reporting and analysis so that people can make decisions. Right. So at some stage, when you consulting with clients, you realize that sometimes they don't understand the graphs and figures. So what I did is, like, I started branding the project that I was involved in.
Okay.
And for about 6 months, not 6 months, about 4 months, I had a graphic designer that I paid personally from my pocket, who would brand my shows, and people would buy in. So that's how I started the branding thing. And then I started talking to my graphic designer. He's still with me right now. We started doing a sample with my uncle's company, where we did a bit of branding for him and logos and all that in the township. And I saw it was well received. And the whole 2012, I kept doing a trial. 2013, I just made a bet that, listen, if I make the same amount of profit compared to my salary, I'm quitting. And luckily I got a Mercedes-Benz gig. And then that's how it all started. We got paid. and I realized like, no, this thing is
Paying more.
paying off.
It has
You can
massive
start-
potential.
There's massive potential.
I want to know about wrapping though, because you might have people who've thought about wrapping their vehicles. Is there a wear and tear time? Let's say you wrap your car today, do you have to wrap it again in the next 3, 4, 5 years? Or will the wrapping last?
Okay, most wrapping started in mostly wrapping companies that produce like the wrap vinyl. They're mostly in overseas companies. So with the weathers that's like been cold and all that, it's normally for 7 years.
Oh, for
situation.
7 years.
But with us in Africa,
Okay.
we actually got hot water conditions. So we actually like do it at 5 years.
Okay.
You know, just say 5 years to be safe.
So plus minus every 5 years needs to
That's
go and
when we say
rewrap.
5 years. But right now, like with Adil said, there's a huge hype around it.
There is.
And people also are realizing the value in it, you know, to say, listen, I'm bringing my personality into why should I spend 5 million on a car and I just take it from the floor as it is? Let me bring my personality into that.
Make it
So
unique.
make it unique. And
Yeah.
so people are just doing it over 2 years, 3 years. And then I do have people who change it frequently, like for now, it's festive. People are changing, saying, listen, I've had my car for 7 months.
Spoiling myself
Let
and
me
my
spoil
ride.
myself. Let me get it a new ride and all that, yeah.
And then does it mess with the paint, the body paint of the vehicle at all?
Not at all. Not
Is
at
it?
all. It's a very nice technology that is bubble air free.
Okay.
Also, like the glue is the adhesive as well. It's like easily removable, and then we use the special techniques to make sure that we can remove that without messing up the paint. Of course, like when the paint is just, if a car has been resprayed, we don't advise you to come to us in the next like
6
3
weeks.
months.
Until
So, yeah, at least it's settled.
Settles,
you know?
yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, here's the thing that I've always argued with friends. So I've got a car. It's great,
Okay.
and I come in and I decide, okay, I want to wrap it black, right?
Okay.
The original car, on the registration, on the documents, is grey. And I always argue with these guys that, you know, whenever you do that, you need to go and report that as well. Because if the car gets stolen and you say it's grey, but it's, you know,
Black.
it's black, it's confusing. What sort of challenges do you usually get with clients when it comes to
Normally we educate our clients around this, and I've also done a bit of research around this. You need to change the color, and we do that process for you.
You help with the paperwork.
We help with the paperwork.
Okay.
It's a very easy process. You just go to the testing station, traffic department, and you just produce the papers of the car, and then they confirm that the color that's on the car is actually the car, and they confirm the previous color as well. So, and it's called a temporary color change. So you don't change the complete color. It's called a temporary change, and thereafter you at least need to also inform your insurance because you've added a value to your car. And the most importantly, you need to inform the tracker company so that they don't look for a grey car instead of black car.
Whether the
Here's
black
the,
one
thing
or
that
not.
here's the thing that I also want to ask. I mean, a lot of people do not buy cars cash, right? You're still paying for it. And while you're still paying for it, it really doesn't belong to you. It's the bank's car, isn't it?
Okay.
So are you allowed still to wrap a car that you really don't own outright? What does the bank have to say about this?
A couple of dealerships works with completely differently, and mostly it's more on the dealership. Like for instance, for the brand itself, so like you find a certain brand saying like, listen, you don't touch my car while it's still under warranty.
Right.
You know, so we advise on that. We have clients. I won't mention the brands, but we have a particular brand that says, nothing, you don't touch my car, and then we'll advise the client. Some client says, listen, I've paid, motor plane is nothing. This is what I want, or like say black. At your own risk, you do it, and we've had a couple of those kind of
So
clients.
you do provide the education. It's
We
not a
do
matter
pro-
of give me your money and you deal with your problems on your own.
It's actually, most of the time, most of our clients on social medias, they think it's just an in and out service.
Yeah.
It's not. It's a lot of consultation. We sit with our clients. We do sit. We show
You
them
do
all the color
renders,
range,
yes,
the color change, what are the color charts, and also we also do a bit of research in terms of the cars. Listen, these are the colors that are within
Possible
this
options.
Yeah.
Yes, you want yellow, but maybe try this.
Exactly.
Look at this.
But I also try to say to move people away from the, let's say a certain brand got these colors on that particular model. Say, listen, all these colors are there.
Yeah.
Step into something different. Or also you find that certain clients say, listen, I actually found a white car but I was actually looking for this kind of car. And then we provide that, you know, so it assists with that.
Awesome stuff. Listen, unfortunately, we don't have all the time in the world, but with the little bit that's left, you're talking about social media. How do people get in touch with you? Those that are interested, this is the plug. You've got yourself like what 60 seconds to actually really plug it.
Awesome.
Where? How?
We are on Instagram. We are actively like involved in Instagram, and that's where most of our business comes from. And also we also on Facebook as well. It's simple. We Paul Maleke, one word on Instagram. On Facebook, just Paul Maleke as well. And also there's a reason why we use the personal. Like for instance, I use Paul Maleke instead of the company name. It's because like we plan this thing very well. So that if you're gonna leave your car with us, at least know who you're living with, not just the page.
Paul Maleke on Instagram.